Elijah's Apocalypse, A Day of Vengeance. Chapter 1. Execrations. The Curse. Radiant. The eyes of the immortal shined as the stars, spiraling in a whirlpool of ethereal water, every one of them uniquely gifted. The earth resonated a humming pulse as his feet touched the earth, a precipice above the other angels, like moonlight touching water so graceful not to ripple the small jagged rocks and sand. A cool luminous aura breathing with his movements, his elegance dazed even angels who stood waiting. A misty fog slowly creeps by the 200 glowing angels as the silence was filled with whispers. Atop the mountain, the moon so close, a cool blaze illuminating. The stars resisted the darkness as a wrinkle in fabric in betwixt the gaps amongst the clouds. Azazel. His masculine voice sang as pure as a bell and reverberated just the same. Have they all come? Yes, Lord Samyaza. Azazel's gaze pierced his comrades to their core as he raised his hand and closed it into a gentle fist. His lips pursed elegantly, yet a fierceness took his features that had never once been seen until this moment. He lowers his hand, grabbing the hilt of his sword as though ready to draw it in an instant. Silence stilled the air, a focus so sharp the silence began to grind its teeth anxiously as hunger emanated from their faces. Their leader began to speak. Hillel has spoken truly. We can all be gods. Are we not immortals? Time has no hold over us. Ages will pass, but we shall remain eternal. More than that, do we not possess the knowledge of good and evil? Since the dawn of our creation, we have served the Almighty God and have never once disobeyed. We were never given glory, never worshipped for our magnificence. Truly, we have been created in splendor, but never adored. Since the fall, we have kept watch over humanity, doing great exploits as commanded, always as commanded. The Creator gave us free will, but when have any of you ever done what you wanted to do? Murmuring broke out among the angels. Blasphemy sprang from their lips. A riot arose among them before he stole their hearts again. Behold, my brethren, among the children of men, daughters of such beauty, all the lilies of the fields and sapphires of the mountains cannot compare. If the birds sang in harmony at sunrise on a mid-spring morning, if the butterflies fluttered according to their desire, so their hair captivates me, and I desire wives and offspring of my own to rule over the earth and to subdue it in my honor and glory, children after my own likeness. I am enamored of them, as when a man drinks too much wine. The angels, agreeably defiant, burned within their hearts, clenching fists. Some without thought bit their lips, an instinct they'd never known. Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the descendants of men, and let us beget children in our images, who will subdue the earth according to our desires. We shall be gods among mortal men, an everlasting empire, unfettered by the corruption of time. I fear that you may be perhaps indisposed to the performance of this enterprise, and that I alone shall suffer for so grievous a crime. But they answered him and said, We all swear and bind ourselves by mutual exhortations that we will not change our intention, but execute our projected undertaking. They were captivated. No further thought required. A suffocating darkness approached them. An ancient evil once separated imbued with their minds, and they were darkened. The light in their eyes flickered like a smoldering coal and smoke. Samyaza began to utter incomprehensible words, an ancient Hebrew unknown to mortals, the language of creation. His hand clutched the hilt of his angelic sword, unsheathing an unearthly blade, needing no light to reflect its shimmer, with the other hand clasping the blade, a graceful stroke, blood spilling as liquid light tapping on the rocks. Magic and chaos surged uncontrollably. Shadow and smoke burst from Samyaza, and the suffocating darkness, liquid and formless, purged their angelic bodies of holy purity. Trembling, Samyaza continued his utterance, denouncing Yahweh and their eternal habitation. Following his lead, angelic blood began to rain on the mountaintop, feeling no pain or weakness. A lifeless gaze A corruption which had wrestled in their hearts had finally won, an emptiness, as they each silently died. The feeling of being separated from God. Hillel had won their hearts with his message long before this night. No other angel was created with power and majesty as Hillel, none more wise, none as beautiful, perfect from the day he was created. An anointed cherub who stood near the throne of God. In unity the fallen now spoke. Ben Hillel Shahar, you have said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the assembly in the far reaches of the north. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. The suffocating darkness drew like a whirlpool into their bodies. Their countenance, though angelic, maligned as their thoughts and intentions expressed themselves openly on their faces. The dust, rock, and sand swooshed away as hundreds of wings thrusted almost simultaneously, the ground shrinking away. 200 angels descended Mount Artis. The birds, barely able to avoid the snowstorm, thrust upon them, unsuspecting mankind still farming and herding sheep. An avalanche descended upon man that morning. As the sun rose, 200 angels abandoned their posts, watchers. Their king shouted out to his brethren, Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the descendants of men, and let us beget children.